Okay, so Dr. Disrespect is back and has finally responded. If you guys didn't know, he got cancelled because he admitted to texting a minor on Twitch Whispers, which also happened to be the reason he got banned in the first place. He had this long paragraph, which he edited multiple times to remove the word minor, and it just wasn't a good look at all. He came back online all conservative and making fun of people for calling him out, and it's kind of been downhill ever since. Well, now he's officially back streaming, and he had a lot to say about this, or more so, had to speak his truth. So buckle up, because there's a lot to go through.
I guess since you all missed the point with my personal statement, maybe it's time to tell my side of the story.
What?
Yeah, so, if you missed his side of the story, get ready to hear his side of the story, brother. What? What does that even mean?
You see, there was a lawsuit pending, and as part of that arbitration, all parties were not allowed to speak publicly about the case. I respected those rules. My lawsuit against Twitch was eventually resolved, as you all know. But even then, as part of the settlement, all parties were still prohibited from speaking publicly about the case or the settlement. However, if one side violated that confidentiality, then the other side could respond. And again, champs, I respected all the confidential obligations. But apparently Twitch's own disgruntled employees didn't feel the need to abide by those same obligations. Cody Connors, ex-Twitch employee, wasn't even involved, leaks Twitch's reported reason. Why do this? What was the point? This was settled professionally. And you, knowing how black and white the internet is, you decided, you rat, to leak the reported reason Twitch banned me in 2020. I mean, for what? Cody, why? Did you not know the repercussions from spewing lies about the two-time? Did you not know the repercussions of accusing me, Cody Connors? You see, you don't know shit, and it was obvious from your tweet. You didn't have any firsthand knowledge of my dispute with Twitch. You said that I got banned from Twitch because I was texting a minor through Whispers messages? Do you even know what the legal definition of sexting is? I do. And yeah, I used Twitch's Whispers, but trust me, I wasn't sexting anyone. You also said the word minor, Cody. I even made sure that word was emphasized in my statement, edited, etc., just to make sure these so-called journalists would pick up on it. And boy, oh boy, did they ever, champs. When you and all these so-called journalists, Cody, fired off your tweets, did any of you consider that the Twitch user may have been over the legal age of consent at the time of the messages? You didn't. Neither did any of these journalists, and neither did Twitch at the time of the ban.
Alright, we're gonna get into the legalities and law and stuff, so let me get my Better Call Saul on. He mentions that the entire lawsuit was under confidentiality, and that the ex-employee Cody from Twitch, who exposed the original reason for the ban, violated those terms, and therefore, Doc is now viable to respond. Which, I mean, oh, he ever so did. But saying that he purposefully edited the word minor so journalists would pick up on it is a little off, because what the hell? You would include the word minor just so dumbass commentary channels like me would pick up on it? It's a little counterproductive, but okay, if you say so. Though the biggest statement he concretely made was he wasn't sexting anyone at all, which I guess makes sense, but then also doesn't explain the whole leaning toward being inappropriate thing he mentioned, so it's still up in the air.
You also tried to tell the world that I was trying to meet up with this user at TwitchCon, but you're wrong. Let's set the record straight. I never intended to meet this user ever. We never made plans to meet at TwitchCon or anywhere else, and in fact, we never met in person, ever. Your bullshit accusations gave false courage to other former Twitch employees to make shit up as well. I suspect all of you sort of planned and coordinated this attack. These big-time publications, these journalists, these various outlets are sort of just gossip channels now, don't you think, champs?
Okay, so Doc resides in California, so age of consent is 18, which he implies is the case with the other person. He reassures everyone they never even planned to meet up, and that Cody was straight up lying, so this definitely just seems like it'll end up in another lawsuit.
Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally acknowledged that the Whispers did not constitute child sexual abuse material CSAM. I'll say it again. Neither I nor the Twitch user exchanged any sexual graphic messages or images. Cody Connors and these other anonymous sources are trying to paint a picture that I was exchanging sexually explicit messages and photos with this Twitch user. That never happened.
Okay, so another big claim for Doc here is that the Twitch employees of the Trust and Safety team themselves internally admitted the messages sent weren't of sexual nature, and he says that they were never sexually graphic texts or images exchanged, which, okay, cool, yeah, but then why aren't the whispers being released? Something definitely happened that isn't being talked about just yet.
And this is not a situation where a victim publicly accuses someone of wrongdoing. That never happened here. We're talking about allegations that Twitch made against me as a half-baked reason for justifying their actions of suspending and shutting down my channel. Allegations that Twitch made without even a legal analysis of whether the whisper messages were legal. You see, I engage with my community. I engage with other streamers. And through Twitch Whispers, I communicate with Twitch users. Conversations that consisted of a variety of playing games and gaming politics, content creation, random stuff. This was the extent of my whispers with this Twitch user. On June 21st, 2020.
Okay, he mentions that they were just talking normally, making inappropriate jokes like one does, which, sure, I understand, we all do it in our everyday life. He's still playing the Doc character all dramatic, which is a bit confusing. Like, bro, your career is on the line. Let it go for 1 second. Oh, and Doc might disrespect the children, but I'll never disrespect you, my boy. Guys, hit the subscribe button for me. I'm trying to become the biggest commentary yapper. He mentions how his Twitch partner manager never did anything for him and was always out to get him. He explicitly mentions that the viewer he was texting was above the age of consent in their jurisdiction, which was ignored, which means there is potential they could have been under 18, and Doc is downplaying this as there are some states in the US where the age of consent is either 17 or 16. I'm not really sure, but I know that 17 is one, so yeah, it's a little sketchy.
I don't claim to be perfect. Sometimes I do. But I also didn't do all the shit that they're saying I did. But then that doesn't make a story, right? They wanted media attention. The media wants controversy. And by sensationalizing all of this with big, inaccurate headlines like sexting and sexually explicit, you all got what you wanted at the expense of the tube time. The reality is, they wanted to cut down the Doc. Plain and simple.
Okay, I didn't realize cheating on your wife counted as trying to be a better husband, but okay, whatever. He does mention that even after the judge determined nothing illegal took place, Twitch still treated him like ass, and for what reason? Well, get this.
Example number 3. Streamer was reported for a sexually explicit stream involving children and telling children to send Snapchats of them playing with themselves. Never suspended, but instead, given a multi-million-dollar contract. It's so obvious that certain Twitch executives, employees involved had personal biases against the Doc and used all of this as an opportunity to terminate my contract. Go back and look at the timing of all this too. The Doc's termination lines up with 2 preferable, profitable, and expensive streamers leaving Mixer. As soon as Twitch knew that Mixer had failed, and go look at the timing. These other expensive streamers needed a new streaming platform. So Twitch rushed through its decision to terminate the tube time. You see, I shouldn't even be banned from Twitch. It has affected us on so many levels. Back in 2020 and now in 2024.
He's just going all out and is ready to drag others down with him if he does go down. This isn't a great look for Twitch, as Dr. Disrespect wasn't even called in for a discussion, he just got flat out banned. So yeah, Twitch did have some discrimination against him. The whole thing was incredibly carefully said in his stream. He never mentions any specifics, and well, honestly, it's all kind of a little redundant. The only way I think this case is going to be closed is after the chat logs get dropped, so we'll have to wait for that. And apparently people are calling Nick Merckx a bad friend for not supporting Doc, but they were also calling him a bad person for being friends with Doc before. Let's read the tweet. This retard Dr. Disrespect is married with children pushing 40, admits to texting a minor inappropriately. His words, not mine. So I cut ties because obviously that's inexcusable. Now I'm a shit friend for not having his back. Bunch of brain rot morons on this app. This guy doesn't want to jump to conclusions back and forth. Like, he is actually dealing with it as best as he could, as close as he was with Dr. Disrespect. If Doc is somehow, by the grace of God, proven innocent, of course Nick is gonna be a good friend and apologize, and Doc might understand. Even though a judge deemed nothing inappropriate happened, something about those Twitch whispers not being getting released or talked about is pretty off. That's the final piece of the puzzle, at least for the online discourse on this whole situation. Let me know what you guys think below. Bye bye.